Good morning everybody. Welcome to the Breakfast Show. My name is Martin and I'd like to welcome you to the Breakfast Show for trending stock, and definitely this week we'll be talking about trending lists. That's right, the trending list, which is usually the stage 2 shares. Now, since we miss out on Monday, the Monday breakfast show was cancelled as I was away live trading with the fellow masterclass students, and those of you who are from our masterclass, thank you for coming. And tonight we will definitely also continue with our final part of our masterclass, which is the US market live trading, and that's something we'll start 8:30 and you'll go all the way to 12 midnight. So there won't be any public talks tonight, just take note of it. And over this last 5 days or so, we are coming up to 5 days. Thank you for all the support that you have. It's always a privilege for us, myself and the coaches, to serve our masterclass member and upsell those of you who are also from the plug-in members too. And for right now, we'll be mainly talking to the public, but of course many of you are also from the same group too. Now, a lot has happened over the weekend. We saw the fall of the of the Afghan government to the Taliban group, as well as Joe Biden coming in and giving his statement on the US very quick haste troop withdrawal from the Afghan. And you can see people really climbing up on aircraft, and it's a horrible scene to be seen. And yet the last 24 hours we can see news of headline of Afghan and Taliban and US troops continue to hit the headlines that we've seen. And also in our Malaysian scene too, right, we have seen the market really reacting to the resignation of Prime Minister, and on Monday, that's right, on yesterday, we saw that huge surge of 22 points, hitting back where we were, the old resistance. Let me just show you what I mean here, and let me just switch on to the wider chart. And this is the resistance that this market need to overcome. And if you can see here, let me just put up the chart. You could see right now, let me just bring out my little pen here and able to show it here, then it'll be much better. Okay. So you can see right now, this is the resistance. I wonder if you can see it now. Oh no, that's right. So let me turn it off again. So you can see from this standpoint, this is the resistance, the 1520. This morning, the market is just up slightly in here. But again, the Pentagon Guider, the green Pentagon Guider, did not fail us this time. Did warn us, and at 150, and certainly turned 3 or 4 days ago, the green Pentagon. And take note, the messages that you will get from SMARTRobie whenever the green Pentagon will turn will personally be sent by me. If you just go over to your inbox here, and you can see inbox, and definitely it was notified. You can see this one here was sent out on the 12th of August, and today is 18. 6 days ago, you already know about the green Pentagon signing. So this is definitely one of the big benefits of using SMARTRobie in here. And there's a lot of great things coming out also for the month of August, so stay watch until 31st of August. We have some great announcement to announce on SMARTRobie. That's right. Now let's move on to what we have for you this morning in here in our headlines. And definitely is our winner in here, Shabazz. Congratulations to Azam Albas. He is from Sabah. That's right, we actually delivered the iPad to him, and he was very happy. And he's actually a teacher, right? He was a teacher in Sabah in here. I can't remember which town or city was he from, but definitely he was very happy and continued to support SMARTRobie, and here with him with an iPad as our grand prize winner in here. And of course, today is our SMARTRobie Wednesday, so our focus will be on trending stock, a refresh, as well as looking at the headlines that we have for this morning here. Now, the CPO, like it or not, has tried to touch 4,500, but the big bombshell actually came from one of the international vegetable oil expert, Thomas Mikal, if I just pronounce his name correctly. He predicted that the CPO prices will undergo some price correction today. So definitely today at 10:30 you will see definitely CPO will have some sort of a sell down coming in here. Now all these are up CPO due to the so-called lockdown. There was a lot of CPO could not be harvested, a drop in the supply, and that's what made this so-called CPO prices to shot above 4,400 ringgit a month, which I do feel that which is not attainable over a long period. And this perhaps what we call the expert on the CPO prices do predict that this price will eventually come back down of many of the fundamental reason that the not sustainable due to the demand and as well as the slowdown in India and China. And he is likely, together with the UOB research in here, to maintain CPO prices for end 2021 at 3,300. So right now we are 4,004. So you can imagine, right, people who hear this kind of news will suddenly turn short, as well as 2,800 going to 2022. So there's a lot more rooms for CPO prices to go down, which also dent the possible of CPO plantation stocks from going higher. So take note of this win in here. So likely we'll see a lot of speculator initiating short position at good location, perhaps at uptrust and things like that. So take note of all this movement in here. All right, take note of. All right, let's move on to our next news is the Gas Malaysia. Now, Gas Malaysia Q2 earnings rise up to 62 million. This is due to the higher gross profit and lowering of finance costs. But what more important is they still see revenue continue to drop to 2.53 compared to last year 3 billion. And this is the ongoing of COVID-19. So let's take a look at the Petronas Gas here. So PET, it's not a cheap stock, having said that, right? GAS, okay. So it's not a cheap stock, and it does has its merits, having said that. So let's look at the stock chart, stock prices in here. You can see this is holding up a very good level here around the 15 ringgit 60 cent in here. We had an uptrust, and this morning, let's take a look at the prices should be up. And we can see right now, prices is up short of 0.8% in here. Now do take note, the technology sectors has sort of weakened a fair bit in here, and you can check it out from the main menu. And going back to the hot sector, you can see hot sector right now, you see plantation is moving up, right? No doubt, but stay ahead of the news I just mentioned by the UOB Kehang research in here. So technology stock is in second spot. Plantations are moving up. Many of the plantation stock yesterday did move up in here. I'm not sure about them today. I haven't checked them in here. But take a look at also consumer and industry and also logistic. These are the sector rotation we are likely to see in here. But a consumer or as well as an industrial product like Gas Malaysia would hold its base in here. All right, let's move on to our next news. Now, next news is on infrastructure. That's right. A public infrastructure defensive was brought up by another research house to maintain a buy call, all right, which is Perak Transit. So P-Trans, let's take a look at P-Trans. Okay, P-Trans here. And let's look at the stock price chart here. So P-Trans is certainly looking in a very downtrend in here. Did try to test back up, switching to a wider chart, but it did break back down. You can see from this chart in here onwards, right, breaking lower to 56 cents. Now, if all things is correct, the research house is maintaining a buy call and a forecast, but has revised the high prices, which is the top prices, target profit, to 1 ringgit and 5 cents, which reflected the fair value by 13%. It's still high, in my opinion. There's a lot of room to go. So if you are interested in these stocks, you just need to wait for the green pentagon. Let's take a look at the live stock prices this morning in here. Is it going up? Now it's still holding down almost 1% in here, right? And due to the issuance of free volume for this. Now let's move on to our next news. Now next news is on Marsing, which is both a property play as well as a rubber glove play in here. Now Marsing, half of the objective of 650 million has been in of May, and surprisingly during this lockdown they were very innovative to able to have a sales of 1.6 billion in terms of their property. You can see inside there. So certainly not all property is down in here, and RHB Research has a buy call on Marsing at 102, okay, 1 ringgit and 2. But let's take a look at Marsing, okay. Marsing. Right now, if you are interested in a property play and a recovery in the overall market, this is definitely one stock you want to look at. It's still in a pretty much in a downtrend. Every uptick that you can see from the green pentagon, this market continued to head down. Definitely now we have to see a possible accumulation. It fell from 85 cents to 80 cents in here, but the target price given by the research house at $1. So there is still a lot of up room, at least 25% of up room from here. And a lot of ATLs has been stopped out, so do wait for the green panel. Let's take a look at Marsing this morning here. And you can see Marsing is up 0.6%, very little only. Alright, let's move on to our next story in here. Okay, our next story will be on Pintaras, another construction in here. Are they benefiting from the reopening of the economy? Maybe, right? Let's take a look at also at the chart in here. Pintaras with the good news, looking for 45 million contract piling that they want in Singapore in here. It will start in September, November. For 9 to 15 months will contribute positively in here. So let's look at Pintaras. And let's look at the stock prices, stock chart. So far the stock chart is holding up at the level in here, $2. You know, it doesn't have some of the trends that continue to break out, but do check out the likelihood of a green pentagon before if you're interested in this stock. Now let's turn our attention right now to the US market in here. Now US has gone through some correction. No doubt it is continuing to go up, but there is a lot of reason. A lot of analysts is giving that this market shouldn't be this high, it should go down. First was the infrastructure bill that is proposing by Biden will introduce a lot of inflation hike, and that would subsequently downplay the market for achieving higher. There are many reasons in here, definitely the Taliban, and also the recent the tech crackdown on privacy law about mining for data in China will be taken out, and also the Tencent Music listing IPO has been delayed. But the real news has always been the continue of bad news being streamlined, that the popularity vote for Biden has definitely dropped a lot. This is because due to the Afghan has been helping up the US to fight against the Taliban to restore the government, which they've been there for almost 20 years. There was not much of a result in here, and Joe Biden decided to pull out in agreed with Trump withdrawal and also the peace agreement that they have with the Taliban during the Trump's era in here. So that is sort of panning out to be a very bad scene that you see in the US market right now in here. So do expect a little bit of minor correction to continue for the remaining of the week until the news sort of pan out, and maybe we will see a new Taliban government which is a bit more matured than that you saw in 2001. Then the market would likely to continue. But take note of the situation that we see. Let's take a look at the chart that we see right now. S&P 500 in here, and okay, and so you see here, yes, that's right, S&P finally has turned green pentagon and maintaining the uptrend that you see over here, the uptake of the upthrust, and that's pretty good. It turns green pentagon about 3 or 4 days ago. I think that will probably be on last Friday. That's right. So this is a nice trajectory. Malaysia has also turned green pentagon in here. So do take note, market will continue to go up, but many of the US shares continue to fall due to profit taking also. It seems that the engine for the US market is still up, but maybe not at full throttle, maybe at quarter or 50% in here. Now learn to buy at pullbacks in here. Definitely tonight on our US market, we will talk more about this in here. Now definitely if you look from in here, Many of the other stocks like Withdrawal, ISG in here are doing pretty well. We have the Nvidia, it's up 77, Google's, Amazon. Those are your usual suspect in here. But the news that really take on when Trisha to talk about is Warren Buffett, the famous investor in the world. Now, he hasn't been buying over the last 2021 and 2020, you can say that way. So a lot of analysts are talking about when will Warren Buffett buy. He seems to be saying that this market seems to be very pricing. And do take note, Warren Buffett is not so much of a technology stock. He's more of the what we call brick and mortar. So he is looking to things like financial, railway, things that he can understand, things that he can count on. So definitely there are less choices in here. But no doubt to the share buyback that they have maintained, and also some good earnings from the insurance company Gecko, stocks continue to move up, outperforming S&P 500 by just merely 5%. The Berkshire Hathaway B shares is up 25% compared to the S&P 500. But let's take a look at Berkshire Hathaway. So shares BRK.B, and stock chart, stock comment here. So from here onwards, you will see that the it is testing the old resistance. Okay, switching to a wider chart here, right, and you can see here, just let me pinch it up. It did turn green pentagon at around $280, hit to 288, but you can see the old high that it achieved 6th of June was definitely at the what level is that? Around just short of 290 in here. So last night, let's take a look at last night, whether the stock chart has gone up or not. And livestock prices here, it's pretty much unchanged in here. Looks like a 0%. All right, so take note of what we see so far on Berkshire Hathaway in here, pretty much unchanged. So let's move on to our next story in here. Okay, so our next story will be focusing on Singapore market. Now, Singapore market previously they still continue to report on the CPO prices in here. The palm oil stock record stronger first quarter revenue, profit on higher profit, CPO prices and demand. Now this is due to a lot of the producing company from Malaysia and Indonesia, but due to the dry weather, normally harvesters are usually better. That's right. But as I said before, early on, the condition that we saw, right, due to the lockdown that we've seen in the lockdown that we have, that many of the harvests of the CPO were delayed or not harvested at all, and that seems to be reducing the stockpile, and that's why we saw CPO prices higher. Now there are two stocks in play here for the Singapore market. Definitely those of you which have starting to trend up in here. Olam was just one of them. E5H, going to E5H is the Golden Agri E5, Golden Agri here, and stock chart, stock comment here, we could see prices are holding up, switching to a wider chart here. So you can see from this standpoint, right, it did have a line change at 24 cents in here, holding up this level. So more importantly, we want to see take out of the upthrust. Okay, if you take out the upthrust, then you see this chart will continue to go up. The other stock they have is First Resources, another CPO planter. Now some of you may ask, how about the Malaysian one? Check it out on the Malaysian side. I think a lot of them are EB5. Okay, EB5. Stock chart, stock comment here. And you can see this one is a much nicer, very clean cut, breaking above the 1 ringgit 35 cents here, continue to go down. Let's take a look at this morning. Where is SGX now listing here for EB5? It is up 0.7% at 142. All right, so take note of that. That is still maintaining the so the CPO market has already opened up now. We won't be talking about it. Perhaps we will talk about it on another session next time. Definitely check out all the plantation sectors that we have. Just type plant on the KLSE SMARTRobie and look for those stocks that are very good setup that will give you a chance to bank on this win here. We will still have a short run going forward. All right. Now let's move on to our next story that we have for you in here. Is our immediate past leader to the trade idea in here. Of course, the technology has turned red Pentagon already. The technology sector has turned, so take note of it. A lot of profit taking that we have seen in here. Of course, many of you would probably ask me, should I hold on to my technology? So again, going back to your education, which we talked about on Saturday, the master class, the plan is very important, as I said before, right? Many of you who don't have a plan, please have a plan. If you don't have a plan, then just usually you will react to the market, and over a long run, it's very hard to make money, right? Get educated yourself, use the right tools inside there, and if you're longer term, like many of what I've shared in the masterclass, then you would know what to do, all right? So let's take a look at some of the intermediate trade plan that we have here. Will be the technology stock, but before that, let's go on to some of the stock trade idea that we talked about last week, which is Uchitek and INSAS. Now last week, I'm going to bring out the trade plan that we have here. Now this was the trade plan that we have on last week. We did say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all right? The first one, the direction is up and was triggered on 23rd of July. Number 2, it broke through the 5-day high here and from the ATR stop loss. And it did stay above the gray line, right? The gray line is the moving average in here. But let's take a look at the latest chart that we have. Okay. Uchitek. So you can see right now, it broke below. Immediately on the same day, on the 11th of August, the market actually went through profit taking. You can see broke through and they break back down to $3 in here. So it does look like the 315 trend is over. Now this stock likelihood is not going to trend up. It's going to move sideways. So the question in here is, if the plan is to break down in here, let's take a look at the plan here. Be careful. Right, if you break below the ATR stop loss, what do you want to do? The ATR stop loss is over here, $3 in here. So plan accordingly. If this trade don't do well, move on to the next trade. I think trading is all about getting out from poor trades to trades that is running and letting the profit run. All right. So this trade didn't work out as what we have, and perhaps another time we will come back and look at this in here. So let's take a look at the other stocks that we have. INSAS. Now INSAS on the 11th of August, pullback holding up much better because INSAS is tied up to Inari, the parent company of Inari. So that one would normally stay better, all right? So let's take a look at next week, this week, okay, which is the trade idea for the 18th of August, episode 106. GCB is playing on the recovery of economy. Now this is what the chart will look like. Let's take a look at what we have this morning on GCB. Okay, there we have here. So we're going to be drawing this a fair bit, same thing like what we did last week. Okay, so I'll just turn on the pen. Okay, let's do this. Okay, first thing is we're going to be looking at the weekly direction. Okay, so on the weekly direction you can see, okay, weekly direction is trend is up. Let me turn off my alarm here. switching to a weekly chart. Weekly hasn't turned yet, so we can type here, you can say, okay, weekly direction is still yellow trend zone, but green pentagon turn on. What day is this? Yes, it actually turned on the 16th of August. Okay, indicated, so green pentagon on 16th of August 21. So we are buying a likelihood, a beginning of a stage 2 shares, all right, stage 2 shares in here. So what are those levels? Important price level in here. So important price level will be, just shrink back to here. Let me just erase that again. So this will be important price level here will be 3. So it will be 294. This will be number 3, okay? So the trend is up. The gray line, take note of that one. That's a gray line. So gray line is the what we call the important price level. This is also number 3. The gray line is a moving average. Take note of it. Why market can move higher? Because volumes coming in. Okay, so that will be number 4. Okay, what is the last low support? The last low support here will be around 250. Okay, that will be number 5. Okay, last high resistance definitely will be somewhere around up here. Okay, let me just string this a bit. Okay, a little bit more. Oh, that one goes very high. About 317, okay? 317. Okay, 317 in here. 317 will be our number 6. Okay, so how long you want to keep this period for? If you do notice, usually the market do trend. It trend about a month only. So hopefully we want to see a bit longer. So that will be our number 7. Okay, it's just starting it right now. So let me do a screen print of this. And we will pop that into our charts. Okay, there you go. Okay, so let's do a summary in here, and let's take this one out. Oh no, I can put that one in later. I can put that one in later. Let's put it right at the end here. So let me just string this now here a bit, then you can see. Okay, let's do a summary in here. So we can say that the weekly direction is still up. Important price level in here, just now we talked about is 3175, okay, at all resistance high. Okay, this will be why market can move higher, because we are seeing volume coming in now. Last low resistance we can see that was number 3. Okay, see number 3 there. Okay, high resistance we can see 6. So this is how you want to do your plan. At least you can come back. Trending period, this is number 7. See number 7. Now what you want to do is able to print this out and look at those charts like what they are in here. So I'll just save this because next week we're going to come back and look at it. Did it do what it did? Okay, the older charts, when you see the setup or something like that, nice base. Here was where we saw the low volume. All right, we saw the low volume. This was where likelihood the accumulation. Right now the market seems to like to go a bit higher here, and that's is usually one of those classic setup that we've seen here. All right, so I hope you like that. For our immediate trading plan for GCB, not a very one of those very solid stocks that rely on good growth, but I do think that there are chance for this stock to rebound, capturing some of the lost ground that we've seen so far. All right. Of course, the other one is IOI Corp, another play on the that came out on our trending stocks or stage 2 shares, which is benefiting from the CPO prices. You can see it turned green pentagon. This was a trend zone trending down, and the market broke through back to 370, try to hit back up in here. All right, so IOI is again playing on a nice recovery in here. We have seen the KLCI are already turned green pentagon, so this could be a follow-up from that point. Okay, take note of it. Now our KLCI SMARTRobie portfolio continue to doing better than the KLCI in here, around just short of 10% return so far, and we will hope to update you as we have more trades coming in. Since right now the KLCI has already turned green pentagon, we are looking into buying some more trades in here. We have a lot of money, we have a lot of cash in here. Hot sector earlier on, we have checked it earlier. You can go on to the KLCI hot Robie chart, and hot sector you can see here definitely right now is Plantation. Plantation is the hot one, and click on Plantation, you can see many of these Plantation stocks, and a lot of them is already turned green, right? You can see that, so that is definitely very positive. Okay, and this is the QR code for those of you who are first time. Check out this tutorial which explains the sign of strength and sign of weakness. And of course, we are still in the midst of our day 5 to this evening, 9:30 tonight. We'll be talking more on the US live trade. And right now we're going to be moving to the stock review of the individual members and top fans. For those of you who have not given the Google Play Store and Apple Play Store on your feedback, do check it out in there. These are the 2 QR codes. We really hope that you can support us and continue. We continue to improve our services and our product to you in here, so you will be a loyal supporter of our SMARTRobie in here. All right, so right now I'll be looking at some stocks. If you have them, just pencil in there. I'll be happy to look into them. Okay. And take note, please, if you are from the public, please state your profession. And if you are a masterclass member, just type MC or plugin members, so I would know who is actually asking the stock to be reviewed. Okay. Alright, I don't seem to be having any stock review in here. Everyone is very happy, I suppose. Okay, we have Moses. Can you tell me what is your profession? Right, before I answer you in here, please state your profession and what is your profession and the stocks. Okay, Moses, I'm still waiting for you to state your profession. If you're not going to state your profession, I won't be. Okay, we got a lie here looking at the masterclass. That's right. SL West. SL West broke back in here, red pentagon. Hit here the ATR, just short of the ATR, so it doesn't look like it's going to going up, because at the same time we are seeing also sell off in the solar and the renewable energy in the US, and that is why it is also reacting to it. It's not going to be a very smooth turn up. It's taking a cue from there. Okay, we got that's right, this is what's happening in Solar West. Jaya Tiasa, I do think all those will do well. Okay, because of Jaya Tiasa in here, picking up in here, nice one, but still got a little bit more to push up, as I said, with the CPO trade. If CPO plantations push up more, then you'll see this going up in here. Okay, we got the Ramesh in here, HS Plan. Okay, HS Plantation, seems to be stuck in the sideways. I'm still waiting for, yeah. It tried to lift up in here. Volumes are coming in. There's a lot of resistance they're trying to break through in here. You can see, volume is coming up, but instead of market just seems to be gapping down, all right, in here. You got lots of volume here. It's well, all I can say is that it has a good support at 180. It should be able to hold. If the plantation want to move up, it should go up. It's just lack of foreign funds coming in here. Now, James asked for Penta. Is it good for long term or not? Remember, James, I've talked about this on Saturday, right? On Saturday, whether the ability to hold longer, right? Something I'll talk about it tonight too. Migu, please let me know you're MC class member or not. Sue, again, those of you who want me to look at your stocks, please state your profession or masterclass members, then I would know. Thank you. Okay, B plan. Okay, Bursa Plantation just turned up here. Okay, it's a green pentagon, it's a plantation. So let's see whether you'll run, but you do have resistance here at 63 cents inside. And the earnings is coming up. So again, all the plantation stocks are edging very, very slowly. Look for the one that has the best setup, and definitely those of you who came from our masterclass, I talk about bottom fishing, which I will talk about it tonight too, right? Fish those with a bottom fishing one in here, your chance will be slightly much better. Okay, I didn't see any statement of profession in here. So if you want me to answer your stock review, please state in your profession or either your masterclass member or plugin member. I'll be happy to look into that for you. Okay, looks like that's all we have for today. And for our masterclass member, I think I have answered most of you. For the public one, I didn't see your profession in here, so we'll keep it for Friday. You can ask me back on Friday. So don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't done so, and do check out our best Telegram in here to be notified of all our latest program and shows to keep you updated of the market, right? And don't forget to review us on our Google Play Store in here. And all being said, we are here to service you in here, but in short, we do hope that get some sort of feedback how we can improve our services to in here. So thank you for coming, and happy using SMARTRobie. Remember, KLCI is turning up very, very soon. Bye bye.